you know, I just, like you said, I watched this ruckus on Twitter. I was like, what? Like, oh my goodness.
Pacquiao just went to a majority draw, and you can argue that Manny Pacquiao should have won the fight and was winning.
He was still good at it. I think he was stealing some rounds at the end. Whether he deserved them or he didn't deserve them, whatever, they were close rounds. He might have stolen them on the judge's cards.
Shannon Sharpe didn't hold back in his criticism of the WBC after Manny Pacquiao was denied what many saw as a clear victory over Pacquiao-Barrios. Sharpe called the fight underwhelming and questioned Barrios' lack of urgency, especially given his youth. Despite Pacquiao's superior performance, the bout was controversially ruled a draw. To Sharpe, this wasn't just a bad decision, it was further evidence that boxing has shifted from a sport of fair competition to one driven by business interests and marketable names.
I know I can beat. Why would I take a chance and fight somebody for $30 million? And that's what these guys do. And the differences between boxing and UFC, you might be the champion, but you don't control anything.
Pacquiao-Barrios' recent string of controversial results has raised eyebrows across the boxing world. With his last two fights ending in draws, fans and analysts have begun to question the integrity of judging in his bouts. His latest fight against the legendary Manny Pacquiao was especially contentious, as many felt Manny had clearly done enough to win.
Alright, so we are back on The Way Concept presented by The Ring Magazine. And folks, I just watched Manny Pacquiao, that's right, 8th Division World Champion and 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao, off a 3-year layoff Manny Pacquiao, off a loss before the 3-year layoff Manny Pacquiao, go to a majority draw with a world champion in a title fight in 2025. What the just happened? Breakdown. Let's go.
He is the star of Wade Concept.
So like I said, Manny Pacquiao, 2025, fighting for a world championship is not something you expect me to hear. Number one, especially off the 3-year layoff, especially at 147, especially off a loss, and especially not going to a majority draw. This is a win for Manny Pacquiao. I'm just going to say it. Tonight he fought Pacquiao-Barrios on PBC, on Amazon Prime Video for the WBC World Championship. Pacquiao-Barrios, I like the guy, but it has to be said, when you have two of your last title defenses ending in a split draw and a majority draw, you may be the worst title holder in boxing right now. I'm sorry, that's not comparing him to being a shitty boxer. It's just saying that as of right now, he might be the worst world champion in boxing and maybe one of the worst I've seen in a while. Also, kind of unrelated, this kind of looks bad for Tank Davis's record because that was supposed to be a stalwart win on Tank's career when he moved up to 140 and beat Barrios for the belt there. But now it's not looking so good because 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao just went to a majority draw, and you can argue that Manny Pacquiao should have won the fight and was winning.
The aftermath of the Pacquiao-Barrios bout has sparked growing skepticism, with some fans openly speculating that something questionable may be happening behind the scenes. For Pacquiao's supporters, the fight was a testament to his enduring skill and passion. For Barrios fans, however, it was a disappointing outing salvaged only by favorable judging. The controversial result left a sour taste, casting a shadow over what should have been a monumental night for the sport.
Involved, honestly, because that right there is rough to watch if you're a Barrios. If you're a Manny Pacquiao fan, this is a fantastic night. And you can even argue maybe he should have got the belt. But I think where this fight became more close was in the later rounds when Pacquiao, obviously, close to being an AARP member, was going to slow down. And if your game plan, if you're Pacquiao-Barrios, is to go, okay, I'm just going to outlast him, eventually he's going to slow down. One, it's psychotic to me to even think, I'll wait for the 46-year-old to slow down in the later rounds, not I'm going to go and do what I should do as a champion and go after this guy. Respect be damned. It's a world championship fight. I saw some people saying, oh, he's carrying Manny out of respect. Excuse me?
Criticism of Pacquiao-Barrios escalated after his lackluster performance. Despite the official draw, most viewers felt he was thoroughly outboxed. Barrios appeared tentative and overly cautious, throwing too few punches and lacking the aggression expected from a fighter at his level. Observers agreed that, while not officially a loss, it felt like a moral defeat. In contrast, Pacquiao looked sharp, focused, and in control. The final decision, viewed by many as a shield for Barrios, sparked outrage and disbelief among fans who felt justice wasn't served.
With the draw. Because, like...
Weird rounds, hard to score.
Yeah, Pacquiao did better than I thought he did. And that's like, we get into that weird territory in boxing where you start grading on a curve. That's not how boxing works. And I was like, oh, Pacquiao's doing better. He's probably winning. Oh, he won. But no, he probably didn't. And a draw is he's probably lucky to get a draw.
Yeah, as I was watching it and scoring it, and I was in the live chat with people, and there was just so many rabid Pacquiao fans that were like, every time he did anything, first of all, anytime he did anything in the arena, the place went absolutely bonkers, like it was going to tear down. He, honestly, he probably fought 50 to 60 seconds a round. He did not do much. He didn't need to, because Barrios didn't step on the gas pedal at all, at any point. He was so listless and just kind of like ho-humming through it. So Pacquiao was able to steal moments, and he did a really good job of stealing the end of rounds and making an exclamation point. And also, we saw flashes of the Manny of old when he would have that little, like the flourishing signature at the end of something. He'd make that little movement, bang, he'd pop that left hand, he'd fly out, boom, 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 boom. He'd make those little moves, he'd do the fancy feet, and you would be like, oh, but really nothing happened. He didn't land a lot of punches. Like, it wasn't like anything really effective. But it got everybody emotional, it got everybody, and whereas Barrios was the exact opposite. Everything he did was so workmanlike. He has zero charisma. He has no sell on anything he does. He just lacked passion. I know he's Aztec warrior, but where was the passion? Where was the exchanging? Where was the biting down on my mouthpiece and going for it? So there was a lot of opportunities based on how both guys fought for Manny to actually steal rounds, because Mario wasn't selling it. Pacquiao was. The crowd was behind him. But yes, when you do it, you're looking at it almost like you're almost comparing Pacquiao to Pacquiao. You're being like, oh, he fought really good for a 46-year-old. He didn't fight really good for a 12-round main event of champion. He fought really good for a 46-year-old Pacquiao. So you get that idea in your head, like, oh man, he's doing so good, but is he really, or are you just voting for the guy that you like better?
Like, nostalgia's a hell of a... And we were all high on Saturday night.
Renowned trainer Robert Garcia weighed in, offering a candid perspective on the controversy. He argued that boxing has become more about business than sport, especially in high-stakes matchups. Younger fighters like Barrios are seen as long-term financial assets, and their marketability often outweighs performance in the ring. Garcia suggested that a 46-year-old Pacquiao winning doesn't align with the financial interests of promoters, which could explain why the judge's decision didn't reflect what happened between the ropes.
So much to talk to you about, I don't know where to start. So first of all, why did they keep robbing Manny Pacquiao? He got robbed against Bradley.
I see the fight, but I heard from everybody that he got robbed.
You trust Paulie Malignaggi. He said they robbed Pacquiao.
Man, you know what?
He got robbed with
it's
Ford.
actually weird, because you see, like the way boxing is, the business is. I'm not saying promoters, because it's the same thing with the business, where you want, like when you have that one fighter that, like when you have a young prospects that are signed to, like managers, judges and commissioners, they already know who's the one that's signed, who's the one they want
to promote. Yeah.
So there's a lot of times where those young fighters get away with wins that maybe should have gone the other way, or maybe a draw, but they still give them the win.
Adding depth to the ongoing debate, a veteran known as the Goose raised serious concerns about the recurring injustices in Manny Pacquiao's career. He pointed out that while controversial judging is nothing new in boxing, it seems to disproportionately affect Pacquiao. Drawing from past examples, he questioned whether Manny's background as an Asian fighter in a sport dominated by British and American influences has led to bias in the scoring system. As a U.S. Army veteran, the Goose gave voice to a growing sentiment among fans that Pacquiao, despite his global stature and legendary accomplishments, is still judged more harshly than his Western counterparts. His words struck a chord with viewers who believe that racism and favoritism remain a quiet but persistent issue in boxing. For them, recent decisions only reinforce a long-standing pattern of unfair treatment.
But still, why do you keep doing this to Manny Pacquiao? It just drives me crazy. Hey there, welcome. It's Coffee with the Goose. I'm excited to have you with me again. I talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and in this case, very irritating. I'm the Goose. We'll start with a little coffee. As you know, my coffee is very strong, like my opinion, and of course I add some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. Okay, I'm not happy. I'll be honest with you. We all have our views of what happened during the Pacquiao-Mario Barrios fight. We all have our views. We all have our opinions. I think whether you're a Pacquiao fan or Barrios fan, you're not happy either. You shouldn't be. It was not a good show. First of all, I'll give props to Mario Barrios. He's the whipping boy for some reason. People are saying, well, he's the champion. He should have been a little more aggressive and come after Pacquiao a little more and shouldn't, be happy with the draw. I'm sure he's not happy with the draw. That's 2 in a row for him, by the way. But, in Barrios' defense, he's fighting Manny Pacquiao. So I think he was maybe a little psyched out. I really think that most of Pacquiao's opponents are. It's the Pac-Man. You should be a little afraid. And Jude and I think we agreed during the fight that both of these guys, at some point, they're acting like they're afraid of each other. It's a weird fight. I'm not happy. Nobody should be happy with the draw. But let's get on to bigger and, not better things. Let's just get to reality, okay? It's corruption in boxing. Nothing new. We've seen this before. But why does it seem to happen? Why is Manny Pacquiao the victim so often, as opposed to other fighters where it may happen once or twice? Did Pacquiao win? It was a very close fight. I had Pacquiao leading after 9 rounds, and the championship rounds, I think Barrios took 2 of those 3 rounds. So very tight fight. I think Pacquiao probably won.
Bobby Pacquiao, Manny's brother, echoed the frustration shared by many. Stunned by the decision, he admitted he couldn't understand what the judges had seen to justify a draw. While disappointed, he acknowledged that they had no choice but to accept the ruling, however unjust it felt. For Bobby, the verdict didn't reflect what truly happened in the ring. He believed Manny had done more than enough to secure a win. His words resonated with fans, frustrated, disheartened, but all too familiar with the inconsistencies of modern boxing.
What did you think of last night? Was it a draw or you thought your brother won?
My brother win.
Yeah.
You know that. Too many people, the crowd is gonna be saying, "Oh, what happened?"
Shakur Stevenson, Andre Ward, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, they all said Manny Pacquiao won. Why do you think the judges saw it the other way for the draw?
I'm long time. I'm a fighter also. I'm a fighter. 14 years in the ring, or 14 years in the ring. But I know the score. You know the score. So many judges, but I'm surprised that the decision is like that. I'm surprised. But anyway, the judges' decision is now. Let's accept. I will accept that decision.
Leading up to the fight, there were widespread doubts about whether a 46-year-old Pacquiao could still compete at the elite level. Many expected him to falter against a younger, more active opponent like Mario Barrios. But Manny silenced the critics. He moved with precision, timed his punches expertly, and displayed footwork that defied his age. His sharp conditioning and tactical awareness impressed even the most skeptical analysts. Rather than a fading moment in his storied career, this fight became a bold statement. Pacquiao still belongs among boxing's best and continues to command respect for his exceptional skill and longevity.
Now in the welterweight division, the rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And Manny Pacquiao will be Floyd Mayweather in the rematch. I said it. I like Floyd, a legendary fighter, but I believe how Manny Pacquiao fought yesterday. And we haven't seen Floyd Mayweather. I know he's still in shape. But this Manny Pacquiao, and the footwork that he displayed yesterday. And like he said in the post-fight interview, he threw a little bit more punches, but of course he's 46 years old. But I'm just saying, even at 46 years old, he's better than all these guys. He'll knock out them Haney, like worse than Ryan Garcia did. Because he can't even match up the angles with Lomachenko. Imagine the angle of Manny Pacquiao, right? Manny Pacquiao will beat Brian Lemon Jr. Manny Pacquiao will already beat Mario Barrios. Who else in the 147-pound division? If somebody moves up, you know what? I'd like to see maybe Manny Pacquiao versus...
The decision to declare the fight a draw sparked immediate backlash across the boxing world. Experts, retired champions, and seasoned analysts voiced their disapproval through TV appearances, podcasts, and social media platforms. Many had studied the fight closely and agreed Pacquiao was clearly the more dominant and effective fighter. From cleaner shots to ring control and sharper timing, the evidence was hard to ignore. The outcry wasn't just about the verdict, it was about a sport that increasingly seems to disregard its own truths.
Now in the welterweight division, the rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Manny Pacquiao will be Floyd Mayweather in the rematch. I said it. I like Floyd, a legendary fighter, but I believe how Manny Pacquiao fought yesterday. And we haven't seen Floyd Mayweather. I know he's still in shape. But this Manny Pacquiao and the footwork that he displayed yesterday, and like we said in the post-fight interview, he threw a little bit more punches, but of course he's 46 years old. But I'm just saying, even at 46 years old, he's better than all these guys. He'll knock out them Haney, like worse than Ryan Garcia did.
Veteran voices from the boxing community were quick to react, and their criticisms were far from casual. Retired professionals, journalists, and respected analysts took to social media and sports outlets, sharing frame-by-frame breakdowns of the fight. The data and visuals favored Pacquiao. He landed the cleaner shots, controlled the tempo, and dictated the ring space. And yet, the scorecards told a different story. The disconnect between what experts witnessed and how judges ruled reignited long-standing calls for reform in boxing's scoring system. Their frustration wasn't just about this one fight, it was about a broken standard that continues to plague the sport.
Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios fight to a majority draw. The one judge gave it in favor of Barrios, 115-113. My thoughts on this one: I thought Pacquiao did enough. I thought he did enough. Pacquiao did a good amount of work leading up, and it looked like going into those final 3 rounds, 10, 11, 12, Pacquiao had a good lead. Barrios needed the final 3 to be able to make a draw in this fight. The judges thought he did that. I personally didn't. Now, I'm not gonna lie, before the final round, I checked the live odds of Manny Pacquiao, and he was a massive favorite to win this fight. Now, I think that there's a slight robbery here. The fans thought so too. And let's not lie, Manny Pacquiao is 46 years old. He is 46. So first, for him to step in there and go the distance with the champion of his old division is so impressive. I don't care what you think of Barrios. Manny Pacquiao is a warrior for stepping in there tonight. 46 years old, and he takes the champion to a majority draw in a fight where many will say that he did enough to get that nod. I think I would love to see him maybe try it again. I think Pacquiao deserved the win here. What do we think? Thoughts on the fight?
For Manny Pacquiao, this bout was more than just another return to the ring. It was a shot at making history, an opportunity to join the ranks of legends like George Foreman, who achieved greatness even in the twilight of their careers. At 46, facing a younger, stronger opponent, Manny was the underdog. But he rose to the moment, delivering a performance full of heart, precision, and undeniable talent. His timing, movement, and grit reminded fans of what has always made him great. Sadly, the controversial outcome denied him the historic recognition he had earned. What should have been a career-defining chapter became another example of how flawed and unpredictable boxing's judging system remains.
Yeah, bro, you got robbed last night. And shit, I got robbed last night. We both in the same boat. Last night, Manny Pacquiao got back in the ring, fresh off retirement, tried to take the belt from Mario Barrios. He's 46, bro. And he was putting belt to ass the whole fight. The draw is crazy. It's absurd. The draw is wild. That's bad business. If Manny Pacquiao won last night, we would have witnessed history. He would have been the oldest welterweight champion ever. And coming fresh off retirement, the first Hall of Famer to come back and grab the title. He's different. Last night, Manny Pacquiao proved, bro, he won. Ain't nobody like Manny Pacquiao. Pac-Man is the truth. The truth, real for real. You can't tell me Pac-Man lost that fight. I'm not going for it. That's cooked. I'm not hearing it. 46. But we got robbed, man. Simply plain. Pac-Man deserved that fight. This draw is bad business.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more in-depth coverage, fight breakdowns, and exclusive updates. Until next time, stay sharp.